Okay, we're finally live here. About an hour behind schedule, as usual, right? Nothing unexpected, right? Okay, let me not show you my ugly desktop because I know you're gonna have conniption if you haven't already at the lateness of said Feedback Friday. Okay, but let me. Oh, that's not the right link. Okay, let me give it the shout in Discord if everyone's still awake, right? Feedback Friday just started. Tune in. Okay. Not wasting any time here, right? You already know I had to cram in the Sarudavid drop. Getting caught up in all sorts of things, but we made it through, and that's what really matters in the end. Right, and to celebrate us making it through as a team, right? Because we're all in this together. We're starting off with the boy, Shamer, Lil Dilly. Hello, Shamer. Hello, Meta, the boy. Hello, Headcanon, the boy. All the boys. Okay. Poon. That's facts. Okay, why is it? No, because my volume's quiet. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting ahead of myself. Right away, this is sounding like quite the pretty thing, I must say. Let me run it back. I like your chord progression you chose. I feel like it takes a little long to low pass in, you know, without nothing else, without anything else really adding in, like really fading in. You feel me? I like how you brought in the hats, and I like this lead. This lead's got a crazy texture to it, I'll say that much. That's weird. For one, I'm feeling like I should be hearing sub bass here, since it's some type of, it's a drop of sorts, you know, and I feel like I would like a bit more impact to that. Sidechain is a bit heavy, but that could be a stylistic choice. Yeah. For sure, hearing the lack of low end, would have liked to hear the sub kick in there. Also, I think you did a good job of building up the kind of tension into this kind of like drop type thing, right? And I like how you have that distorted kind of guitar-y lead going, right? But I think you could have built up a bit more tension into this kind of drop. I'm sensing a bit of tension, but I like a hint more, maybe a slight riser, right? And definitely to emphasize that release, have the sub kick in, get a nice subby groove. Also, it builds up kind of slow. I would like maybe either a faster build up or just more content, something to really follow, you know, because it's a lot of pretty stuff and a bit of a groove laid down, maybe a type of lead guiding you through until this kind of drop. Yeah, you did have a bit of a riser, maybe have a riser a bit sooner. Yeah. But then you see he brings in the low end for that kind of fill at the end. I'm hearing like, it sounds super, I feel like you like EQ'd it a bit too much, because I feel like, another thing is I feel like generally, now that I'm really listening, I feel like there could be like a bit more kind of warmth, you know? Especially on some chords, like the mids sound like super dry. And with the low end especially, it's not sounding super full. You know, and at this part especially, with kind of the EQ thing you have going on, I'll use that effect a bit more sparsely, because I think you want it super full. But I really like how this lead's kind of fading in. I feel like for such a fat bass, you'd probably want it to be a bit less interesting in a way, you know, more so follow the chords. You know, rather than kind of serving as a lead, you know, you really wanted to outline those root notes. So it just slaps, you know, it's easy to follow. You know, you treat it more like a lead than a kind of bass sub or whatever. Definitely was a pretty thing. I think what you could have definitely done is, I mean, just the fullness overall of the track, right? This track sounds a lot more fuller than the rest of your tracks, which is excellent because I know that's something you've been working on. Maybe like one other pad kind of layered with it. You can also have an ARP. Anytime you have chords, you can have an ARP too. It's super easy to just duplicate it and throw the ARP MIDI effect. Definitely want some low end there. You know, be a bit less picky with the low end, and then when it comes in, the lead kind of bass effect kind of grew on me, but I'd still say that I think it would sound better if it had the context of a bass earlier, you know, also sidechain a bit. But yeah, definitely a pretty thing, sounding excellent, and give Lil Dilly a follow if you agree that it sounds excellent, right? And fellas, submit your tracks if you up. Okay. Quick like a brick. Alright. Submit the one you want the most feedback on. I don't know. I don't know which one to pick. You're leaving a lot to me. Putting a lot of trust in me. Just some dude. Quick like a brick. 5 minutes. Deleted all the fucking freeze tracks for this. God beats. Okay. Okay. No. I like the little ambiance. I think the 808 sounded a bit too distorted. So here's one thing, right? So for one, your 808s are kind of hitting weird with the kick, right? The kicks and the 808s are kind of doing their own pattern, right? Which is okay, but just be super mindful of how that's hitting, you know, because it can mess with the groove. A lot of the times you want the 808s and kicks hitting together, right? You know. Another thing, the distortion used on your 808, it just sounds super like clipped and squarified. You know what I mean? Which is fine, right? But it's just not my taste, I don't think. I would maybe a different saturation setting, maybe a bit more subtle, you know, like some kind of different effects like overdrive. Something to make it sound a bit less just like super square wave. Because ironically, having a bit less drive on the saturator and some different settings maybe can make it sound fatter than completely slamming it, you know, but that's subjective, super subjective. I like this riff you have teasing in. Also, I'm hearing like a bit of a bell melody, like bang, dang, 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 right? I would like to hear that a bit more prominently. I say that because, yeah, there's a lot of atmosphere, but I think the bell has more musical content, so I think the atmosphere should go back a bit and the bell come forward a bit. Like how this is teasing in with the crazy effects. Having a subtle riser. That. I think the sample selection for the drums could be a bit better, right? Also, I'm not hearing a bunch of sidechain. Yo, what is up, Sesh Beats? Got a submission for the stream today, question mark? I would like to maybe hear kind of like you can have a reverse reverb effect kind of into the vocal. Ironically, not ironically, I don't say this often, but I feel like I could hear a bit more low end on this. I don't know. Oh, and then the lovely, the riff is super solid. And then you add a nice variation, have a bit of a break here, turning it around with cool low pass filters. Yeah, I definitely feel like the sub overall could be louder. You know, I'm hearing a lot of the mids and highs, even on this kind of wub here. I'm hearing more of the mids and highs than sub, which I don't think is what we want. You know, and I can understand the kind of like switch around into like the spacey, trippy beat, right? I get it, but I feel like when the sub isn't absolutely bussin', it makes that impact kind of weird. I feel like the bass here could also be cool with a bit of kind of reverbiness. Especially kind of like emphasize the spaciness. Yeah, really cool way to switch up the riff though. Really solid variations, and you transition it great with the low passes. Definitely get that sub on lock, and that plus maybe you don't need this, but maybe some like kind of more mid-heavy layers. You see what I mean? One thing at the end of that riff, you see how it kind of triggers weird. You can hear the LFO like restarting in a weird fashion, right? Which I don't think was intentional. It might have been. Yeah, make sure you have it on like trigger mode or envelope mode or whatever, because I'm just hearing a bit of LFO weirdness, which I recognize. Oh, you're saying you deleted them after? You should be able to go into the Ableton files itself, the project files itself, and be able to find them. You know, unless you deleted them in there, which I don't know why you would do. Even if you did, you can recover them from the recycle bin. You know, dig through the folder for the project itself, and the files should be saved in there. And I think the atmospheres and the way you build up tension is excellently subtle. Headcanon. Again with the sub, get the sub knocking, and I would like to hear some more interesting processing on the 808. It just sounds super square wavy, like overly clipped, slammed. I think I like this better than the previous one. But if anything, more lows. Another thing is you have plenty of room if you want, optional, but for plenty of fills, you know, end of every 4 or 8 bars. Want to hear that sub. Another thing, I feel like your kick, your drum pattern overall, I guess your kicks especially, could interact a bit more with your kind of snare. I mean, not your snare, your bass. Your bass. See, I like it in this part, but in the previous part, I felt like the flow was kind of weird between the kick and the bass. And I like how you bring it back into this kind of chorus type of thing at the end. Slaps. To say the least. Yeah, that's a super solid track with great ambiance and transitions, I must say. It's a shame you deleted them. But I'm messing. But you should definitely be able to find them in the project file, right? Yeah, good luck with that endeavor. And really, like, I think it's pretty solid. I definitely think the sub needs to come up, though. It's rare I say that, right? But make sure that sub to knock in. Have it be a dedicated sub if you must, right? But yeah, that's all I can think to say for now. Remember, you can rewatch the stream with the playlist in the description. Or you can just click back right now if you missed anything. Yeah, follow the boy, Headcanon. Keep submitting your tracks if you have anything you would like to share with our class here. That's what we are, we're a little class. Why Am I Here? Bonus track. Sounds great. New submitter. Follow. They like it. Nice techno song. I don't know if techno is the vibe I'm going for in this track, but they seem to like it, so. Wait, let me start it one more time. I'd like to maybe hear a bit of a low passing in. This is a cool way to start a track, though. I really like that, those just like harmonics you're hitting and then the harp coming in. It's very lovely.
Do you know I'm here?
I feel like I would like to hear a bit more width on your main bass. Not a huge fan of the drum samples. Also, I think a lot of stuff could honestly just use more like OTT, right? And also maybe sounds like you had some kind of weird EQing on the sounds, right? EQ is good, but you don't want to overuse it, you know, because you can risk messing with the fullness of the sounds. And I feel like that might be what I'm hearing a bit here.
Do you know I'm here?
The kick is super like mid-heavy, not a bunch of lows, in my opinion, which I'm not a fan of. Subjective though. I really like all those harmonic kind of fits you're bringing in. I think your bass especially could use more OTT and kind of just like loudness, presence. And definitely watch the kind of EQs. I think the main thing, like the track sounds super solid, the fullness I think is what would make it. Everything's clear, but fullness, whatever that means. And I feel like around this point is where I'd expect some type of break. I feel like the riff's been pretty well played out, and it'll be worth like bringing it out to build up more tension before reintroducing it. You feel me? Right. That or have like more interesting development, you know? But the thing is, I feel like you just about developed it as interestingly as you could up here, right? And I feel like after this part, it'd be worth dialing down the energy, right? I feel like there's not many more interesting variations you can do. You know, these are variations, but I feel like you'd expect it to like keep building up greater and greater. You know, I feel like this variation doesn't hit as hard as like that fullness, right? You feel me? So I think it definitely be worth backing out. Get back into it. You feel me? You feel. Hashtag green base. Spelled psychedelic wrong. There's an E instead of an A. Right, you're disqualified from feeding. No, I'm messing. I'm messing. Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting like some type of break there, which I would have liked, but again, you're still going. I mean, it's all subjective. Of course, I'm just some dude with his own taste, but I think tracks generally can really benefit from not having frequent breaks, but having tasteful breaks to build up tension, like you're doing here. Also, it sounds like, I don't know if that's just like the noise, it sounds like there's a bit of clipping right on that sound. Another thing I feel like kind of lacking in like the mid department, you know, which I think is where a lot of the fatness comes from.
Do you know I'm here?
Also, that vocal, you could probably put a bit of OTT on chorus to make it less dry. Maybe reverb and or echo delay too, if you're into that. Yes. Just upload it to SoundCloud and put the link in the Discord. Looking forward to hearing it. Also, when you brought it back into the drop, well, for one, I feel like it should have been a bit earlier, having a break then another drop, right? Which would have made it better, I think. But what I'm saying is that in the context of kind of repeating the same riff for the drop, you know, I would like to maybe hear a bit more kind of variation. You know, for the second drop at least. So that's very similar to that, the beginning, or the first, whatever. You know what I'm saying. The Discord link is in the description. I'll put it in chat as well. Got you. Yeah. Solid track. Bit more prominent mids, a bit better drum selection. The drum groove isn't bad. But most of all, I think it could benefit from some kind of breaks, you know. Just more breaks, more tension, and maybe a bit more variation. I like how you developed it. I just think, like I said, you know, sometimes you got to back out to back in with more energy, more power, more sauce. All right. But yeah, give Frisian a follow, also known as Tasmanian Angel, according to this link. I'm just exposing everyone's URLs on this fine, whatever, evening, Saturday morning, you could say, Friday evening. Okay. Give them a follow if you dig the vibes. The hashtag dream bass type of vibe. Oh man. As well as going through character development. He has the all black. I've never really seen this like full black background. I like this piano. I like the progression you have going, but I think it might benefit from just being a bit quieter on the velocity, right? Because it sounds, I'm hearing a bit of like the velocity, right? But I would like to hear them all a bit lower. You know, I know the Ableton velocity MIDI preset does that, right? But I just think that gentle lower velocity would sound good for this rather than this quite aggressive mezzo forte velocity if you're into the piano music dynamic terms. And another thing is, well, I mean, this is just me being a pianist, I guess. But for one, I think you can benefit from having pedal here, right? And the velocity, right? But beyond the velocity on each little note, you can have the velocity overall swell up, right? And then decrease, right? I would like maybe you could have it. You see what I mean? Both on the micro and macro level. Hearing a bit of funky kind of sparkles though. Maybe a bit of reverb on it as well. I don't know. I think the sustain is what you want. Oh. Oh, this is lovely. Wow. The guitar is beautiful. I really like the tone it has. It could maybe be a hair louder. Also that the grain delay on it. Oh. This is lovely. Damn. I would like to maybe hear like a bit of that bass kind of low passing in, right? Or like reverse reverbing in, something like that to kind of smooth out that transition. Also, a kind of a bit of a fill, a bit of a pre-drop, kind of empty type of space right there. I hear a bit of it, but maybe a bit more would help that transition. Sound design is cool. I also like how you kind of switched up the variations, introduced this kind of mallet instrument as well. That's cool. Another thing is, right, since the rest of your mix is a lot of instruments and is super dynamic, right, you can maybe make the bass a bit more dynamic in the sense of, well, having dynamics. And that could be an auto filter. Ignore that, right? But yeah, having a low pass filter can kind of give it more movement. You can also mess with the volume, except that can be less obvious as to what's going on. You feel me? I would have liked to hear the arrangement be a bit more dramatic besides just the bass. You know, I feel like some big crescendo with all the instruments would be a bit better. Cause I feel like just amping up the bass on its own doesn't really hold a lot of power, you know, compared to the instruments. Or alone compared to having all the instruments going. Going with the dynamics. Yeah. I just overall would have liked to see the arrangement more fully reflect like the intensity of that part, you know, besides just the bass, right? And not only would that help the energy, it would create more interest, because I feel like I've just like heard this melody and riff quite a few times now, expecting it to really switch up besides just the bass. You feel me? Cool grain delay. Cool kind of transition out, no impact, that kind of clean but yet suddenness, which I dig, to say the least. Yeah, lovely. I like your kind of kick pattern and the hats as well. They are hitting nicely. It's lovely. Yeah, I mean, it's just solid. I dig this arrangement. Guitar might be a bit mid-heavy at some points, you know. Solid. Solid and lovely. Yes, and a lovely little cadence at the end. Yeah, that was just nice. Definitely would have liked to hear more intensity in the arrangement, reflecting that bass, right? Complementing that bass, as well as just dynamics in the bass as well. Yeah, but beautiful stuff. Excellent character development. We love to see it. And give as well a follow. But up next, Ricky Bobby. Loving the vibes. Google Real SC Pro. I don't think I will. Thanks for the heater of a submission. Cool little atmosphere. Cool little effect creeping in.
You could say that 10,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough.
It fires me up, man.
I'd love to say it one more time.
Shake it back!
Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah, it rhymes. They're both
Cool
chords.
sounds.
Awesome.
Cool vocal sample. Cool sound design. I definitely think your drums could be much louder, and a bit more sidechain on it.
Man, I'm sorry about calling. She walked straight up to me and grabbed me in the back. Yeah, it's like a track of being a hot.
Sub bass a bit louder too. Also, it sounds like I'm hearing a bit of clipping on this wow, 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 wow kind of bass, which I don't think complements the timbre of it. Yo, yo. Also, that one perk is a bit loud. Kind of placed a bit weirdly. I'd maybe like to hear the beat cut out for just a bit to add to that tension and just make that transition sound a bit smoother. another thing is, you see, like, your riff is super inconsistent. It's a bit more consistent here, which is good. But even then, like, you want, well, if you listen to a lot of professional quality songs, right, you would hear that, you know, the riff is very memorable. It has a lot of call and response, right, and it repeats quite often. That's because that call and response makes it just hit right, and the repetition also makes it hit right because it makes it predictable. You know, like music, a lot of music is about playing with expectation, you know, and if there's no expectation that's set to be subverted, you know, stuff you do just doesn't really make sense because it doesn't have that context. It's all about that context. Like, I dig the funky flow, right, but I think a bit more repetition can make it sit a lot better.
In the car, I put it in there. Learn to drive with the fear. And there ain't nothing more goddamn frightening than driving with a lion cougar.
Also, your, you need apostrophe R E. If you are not first, you are last.
You are not paralyzed. I am so paralyzed. No, he needs to know.
Also, would have liked to hear some more like kind of elements change throughout the track, if at least for the kind of transitions, right? Because I think the transitions, I mean, you have a lot of room to do whatever, you know? So I think you might as well remove some elements, you know, like switch up the drums, maybe just take them out, you know, take out the kind of melodic, atmospheric elements for something else, just to have it space out and change the texture a bit and be able to have some contrast to build more tension, rather than the kind of same beat going the whole time.
Wake up, idiot. You want to know what I am? You want to see what my life is? Huh? You want to see what's going on here? Don't you stick that knife.
That second kind of rim shot is definitely too loud, I think, in comparison. Also, I feel like not a whole lot of content, not a whole lot is being said. I mean, musically, right? Obviously, like there's a movie dialogue, right? But throughout this whole section, you know, and I feel like it just kind of like lends itself to being kind of like one long outro, which is almost, well, literally a minute of the song. You know, but there's not a whole lot of content, and I don't think that's something people want to get down to, personally. Of course, it's subjective, but you feel what I mean.
In the car, I put it in there. Learn to drive with the fear. And there ain't
You feel me?
what I am.
But overall, this last section, in my opinion, is questionable, right? But beyond that, get the drums knocking a bit more, get the flow a bit more consistent, and you got a solid track on your hands, I believe. Give the Tucky Baby a follow, if you are so inclined, right? But up next, that's my only transition line, but up next, right? But it gets the job done, right? So we're gonna stream Chrome to Your Dome by Vagabond Daydream. We're gonna listen online for free on SoundCloud. That's what we're gonna do. 7 months ago, an oldie but goodie. 174 bangers only. I like this sample. Very lovely. Very solid. Bringing in some more lovely harmonies with a great sample. Solid. Solid flow. I love the quick but well executed transition to the beat a bit. Beat. I think the sub could be louder. Snare's a bit funky. It's a bit wet for my taste. Almost literally sounds wet. And I think the drums could knock a bit harder overall, and that would really add to the intensity of the track. Yeah. I think that drum and sub knock-in would really take the track to the next level. I'm sure since it's 7 months old, it's all stuff you hear quite well in your own stuff. Yeah, arrangement's good, both on a micro and macro level. Another solid transition. Damn, stanky. I crave that sub. That's for sure. Another thing is I feel like you could have had a bit of a bass teaser kind of in the beginning. I don't know, that might have done well, you know, like for the build-ups, just to add kind of more interest to the build-up and more tension and anticipation for the drop. Makes it hit harder. Yeah, what's up, Josh K? Glad to see you here. Thanks for dropping the track. I will check it out and roast the shit out of you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this track's heat. I really just think those drums and sub is what's holding it back. Because all that sound design's nutty. Your riffs are solid and consistent. Have sweet, simple but sweet variations. Yeah. Solid track. See, that track really illustrates the importance of drums and subs. And I would like to see you, like, actually, even though it's old, maybe like get the drums and sub knocking right, and just so you can see how much harder it'll hit. Because I believe it. I believe it. I'm imagining it with the drums and sub knocking, and it's sounding pretty heavy to me. It's heavy as is, but you know the deal. Okay, why am I big? Get me out of here. Okay, Close on Sunday. Dom remix. Shout out Kanye. Kinda sounds weirdly panned. Kinda sounds weirdly panned to my left ear, which is a subjective choice, but I prefer it sounding full in both my ears. Solid. So in your side chain, I'm hearing a click. Just make sure you have a bit of an attack, like a smoother attack, you know, like instead of just a flat cliff, have it slightly curved. And I would maybe like to hear that side chain kind of gradually fade in, maybe, you know, rather than starting right at the beginning. I don't know. I just feel like it kind of hits weird. Another thing is, I feel like these like intro sections could basically be twice as long. I feel like they both transition kind of soon. I think the kick can definitely hit harder, especially because of how deep that sidechain is. Gives you plenty of room for a obese kick. Watch the mixing tutorial as for like levels to get. Also, I feel like that your bam 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 could be like an octave lower, maybe. Build up solid. Oh, you're a singer. Sounds like an excellent change of pace to me. Another thing is I like your bass line. Like, it's groovy, the rhythm's nice. I like how it kind of like, yeah, it complements the, it really complements, whatever, the vocal. Definitely the kick could use a bit more knock in the low end especially. So, one thing is I feel like your kick and bass kind of came in on at a weird time, right? And like not quite like the full 4/8 bars or whatever. 4/8. And also I feel like it could have had a bit of a transition into it, like a riser, some indicator, some pre-drop kind of fill. Slight thing, nothing huge. And another thing is, like, you have kind of like a bridge type of chord progression. Right? Like very pretty tense chord progression, right? But then you kind of mess it up, I think, with the bass. I feel like, well, for one, this bass line. You feel me? I just don't think it follows it. I get the kind of like tension of it repeating despite the new chords, right? But I would like to hear it outline the chord a bit better. I like this lead. Maybe have a bit of filtering. Slight corniness on the lead, but it's not too bad. I think it's solid. Yeah. I like the track. I especially like the transition, but I think it was messed with by the like the bass line kind of outlining different chords from that lovely tense B section or bridge, whatever you want to call it, right? But yeah, give Dom a follow. A solid housey type of track. Prehensile penis. Okay. You gotta, for whom is this? Smegmar. Jeez, quite the character, right? But you have to make sure you copy the private link, right? Click to share, right, and make sure it's the private link. Yeah. Or else I'm not gonna be able to see it. You need a special link to access it. Yeah, but resubmit it or edit it, and I'll get to it nonetheless. Also, thank you guys for being patient with me. I know I started quite later than usual, right? But we're here. That's what matters. If you're watching this in the future, right? Sorry you missed it. My fault. This won't happen all the time. But yeah, just felt the need to address my lateness. Working on it to improve it. Discord won't let you on. Let me try another link. I'm gonna put another link in the chat. See if it works. Not done, but thoughts and opinions, lad. I got you. I'll give you a follow too. Oh, this is nice. I like that chord in the beginning. And the ARP is beautiful. Oh, that's lovely. I especially like that pad in the background bending around. The sound design and progression is lovely. One thing though, I would maybe like the ARP to kind of keep a root note or not move quite as much, right? Because I feel like when the ARP is jumping around, that kind of messes with the continuity of it, and it's already kind of jumpy, right? I don't know. You know what I mean? I just feel like the ARP kind of, because you're able to outline the chords while staying on mostly the same notes, right? Through the use of inversions. So maybe mess with that. That pitch bending is beautiful though. With the beautiful low passing in, the subtle sound effects, the downlifters and risers. Also, I feel like on those kind of upfront kind of echoed saw chords, I feel like some of the chord voicings are a bit dense. You know, you might want to spread them out more over the keys, right? I feel like if you're hitting them kind of in the same spot or really close to each other, I feel like the voicing's a bit weird and comes out a bit muddy. And some of the chord selection might just be kind of weird for the root note. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's building up beautifully. Lovely lead, lovely bass coming in. I feel like some of the tension has been lost though, just like within the arrangement, and also maybe because of how long it's went. Yeah, I feel like around this section I would have liked to hear like maybe something even higher up, like you know, like harmony for the lead, something to build up that tension more, because I feel like this bass isn't doing it. Solid. I feel like the drums could be a bit louder, and I'm not sure how much I'm liking the pattern for them. I feel like the pattern is a bit like, I don't know, slightly on the corny side. Not on the corny side, I just don't feel like it fits like the intense vibe. I don't think you need to shorten it. I just think you can maybe have another lead layer on top. I feel like the high end is where a lot of that perceived intensity come in, so have more stuff kind of stock up on the high end. The drums just don't match the intensity of the track to me though. Also, I would maybe like to hear, for one, I feel like that bass could maybe be like an octave lower. If not an octave lower, maybe have a bass previously like an octave higher to really add that impact, right? Because I feel like having the kind of same bass here as in the drop, it's pretty much like in full force, you know? It's not super low passed or reverbed or faded out. Have that hit in the drop kind of takes out some of the impact. I don't know, just mess with different patterns. You can have like a straight bow, cat, you know, maybe that would hit harder. I feel like you're kind of having a lot of change in your drums without much context. I mean, not your drums, in your bass. I really dig what you're doing. Except overall, I think like a bit more rhythmic groove in what you're doing. And like a bit stronger riff overall than besides. Cause what you're doing here is you're basically having it outline the chords, right? Which is fine, but I feel like your bass could, if that's what you're doing, right? Kind of outlining the chord changes, like a simpler bass line. I think the bass could be a lot bigger. And maybe have some kind of harmonic layers on it. You know what I mean? And just be mindful of the kind of variations you choose as well. I dig all the sound design and the variations you have. I think they just need to be reeled in a bit, honed in and focused, if those conceptual terms make any sense. I like how you kind of transition it back into these lovely lead. And I love that wheel at the end. The fade out is lovely. I think the drum pattern especially could change a lot though. But yeah, that's all I can think to say. I really like the direction of this track. I'm just feeling like, for one, the energy is slightly kind of lost, right? The tension, right? And I want it to release even harder, if that's possible. Try your best, make the basses massive, make the riffs and rhythms massive, because that's what it's all about. I think. Don't take my word for it. I'm just a dude messing with sound, just like you. Right, but give Confidant a follow. Give him a follow if you dig it. Okay, genre fluid. That's what we love to see. Huge drums. That's solid. I like how you brought the lead in, and then little clap, kind of pre-drop. Drums are fat. Little reverse reverb. I like all these little pull downs. All the sound design. Super solid. Just a bit loud though. Damn. Crazy sound effects and like sound design overall, just playing around that riff. And then great subtle tension with a little pre-drop. And then bringing it to an absolutely killer groove with the sub bass. Yeah, I dig this. For sure. Solid kind of fill transition. I feel like the clap could be a hair louder. Also, I feel like some of your sounds are a bit too saturated. I'm not sure if that's exactly it, but I'm hearing a bit of squariness, kind of clippiness, which I don't know if that's what you want. I don't know, just keep that in mind. And stuff like that, bass swell. That bass swell could be a bit more flush in the mix and kind of stick. Yeah. Hey, you gotta get a little chant going. Hey. Oh, and that little subtle bit of sound design is lovely too. Yeah, like that subtle bit of tension with all that filtering. I love that. You did? I didn't hear it. I mean, like, I know. I was saying, like, I would like to hear it in there, but I don't. And that's saying, I literally don't hear it, so I think it ought to be brought up. Either way, I don't hear it. But long story short, yeah. The sub goes hard, the drums go hard. The tension is great. I really like all your subtle sound design you work in there. Yeah. I can't think of what else to say. I mean, like, you say you feel like you can use it more. Like, I think it's fine. You know, if you really want to nitpick, you can say, like, oh, add a little something, it seems empty, but I feel like you can say that about most tracks. Especially, like, I mean, it kind of lies on the side of minimal, right? Which is just kind of how it is. You know, just with that sub-bass groove, but it goes hard. What's up, y'all? No problem. I was late, too, so we're in that house. We are. Hello, Chuck Wood. Hope you got a banger for us to roast. That's one. Right? Bringing it back to the Pagani. Demo ID. Alternative rock. Almost done. I love dogs. Trap EDM, I think. Got you. Thanks for the lovely submission. This kind of saw texture. It's kind of abrasive on my ears. Also building up pretty slow. I think you're building it up nicely though, but it is a bit slow. Lovely melody. I feel like I'm hearing some type of kick here. Sub also is super loud. You could see that waveform is being ripped by that sub. Chuck Wood with the writer's block. It happens to the best of us. No problem. I feel like that kind of came out of nowhere. It kind of feels like more or less chilling. Maybe like a build into the build, because out of nowhere the intensity just gets super ramped up. And the pitch bend is a bit rushed as well. Watch the clipping as well. Bass fat, sound design fat. Super stereo, which I appreciate, and the groove is good. The thing is, I feel like all your like top, mid, high kind of sound design is too loud in comparison to the rest of your mix. You know, I like a bit more flush. Also, I would like to hear maybe like a bit of a build / break into more of the variation, right? Because you almost have a minute of basically the same thing, which is cool in techno, right? In house and techno, but it's not house and techno. Like just slightly, like twist a few knobs, slightly add some variation to your sound design, and you're in business. You can definitely add fills and maybe some type of subtle call type of bass as well. You know, call for the response. You get the idea. I feel like there might be a slight variation Yeah, there's a slight variation, but I think it's a bit hard to hear. I would like it to be a bit clearer. You know, I'm not sure how you can get much variation when the sound design is as crazy as that, but I don't know, frequency shifter could maybe do you well. Just delay on it, who knows? Tonal delay. Something funky, you know. I just think you could benefit from it. Yeah, also, I think I mentioned this, but like the kick. I feel like the kick needs to be like a bit louder. I hear it's super clipped, but I don't know. I feel like just bringing down that mid-high bass would make everything a lot more proportionate and just sound bigger as one unit, so you feel me. Okay. Stretch complete. Follow U-bit if you're about to U-bit. Please have energy to stay up. Yes, I'll stay up. I don't think it'll take like another half hour to get your track up, so I think we'll be good on that. I'll review it. Right, and not a huge amount of submissions tonight because I am starting so late, and because the YouTube algorithm is angry at me because I didn't upload exactly at the same time on Wednesday like I normally do. So they're very upset. Lovely.
Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe.
Watch that sibilant, like the just. Make sure you have a solid de-esser and kind of EQ on that. You know, because if you're playing it super loud on a system, that sibilant can be super piercing.
Just breathe.
I've heard worse sibilants, but this one definitely abrasive enough to justify some more de-essing. You could also just straight up cut out that little slice. I really like how it comes in. I like the vocal sample. Sometimes that's all you need to do is just breathe right. And the pads and the stuff is beautiful. And I like this harmonic bass teasing in. The transposition sounds kind of scary. Vocal on top. It's lovely. Maybe I feel like a bit more echo on this vocal, kind of make it pad out. It's building up lovely.
Just breathe.
I feel like you could have a bit more of a build at the end, right? You start out kind of slow and steady, but have something a little slightly more, building up a bit more tension. I feel like I would like to hear kind of maybe a fatter bass, like a bit more like low mids, just grittiness, like girth, right? Like maybe for the teaser, I mean, I think it's fine, right? But I'm expecting a bit more impact, you know? Because like the teaser is good, like it teases the bass, right? But, you know, really like subvert expectations, make it go even harder than you built up the expectation for. Still think it's solid though. I think the snare is a bit loud, especially in proportion to your kick. I feel like your main bass might also benefit from a bit more kind of rhythmic volume automation and or filtering. I don't know though. It's just out there. I feel like a pinch more volume on that harmonic layer you have going
Breathe.
Absolutely. We are all at different points in our producer journey, so I'm happy to hear whatever you have.
Breathe.
Lovely. solid transition out.
Breathe.
Like how you bring it into the vocal and then give it a minute before introducing that new, lovely, clunky melody. The pitch down kind of makes it sound scary.
Just breathe.
Yeah. See, I'm not a fan of like repeating any sections, but I feel like the riff is iconic enough, right? And it's just solid enough to justify doing that, right? But then I was like, oh, what if he didn't repeat the drop? He made it a bit girthier, right? And you did that, which is awesome. So it's a great way, like that's textbook subverting expectations. Got a rat. There's my rat. He's happy to see you all. Say hi, Joe. Well, here's the thing, right? I thought the drop was gonna go into like something a bit heavier, right? What the pre-drop kind of implied. But I would like to hear like a bit more of a sustained bass kind of layered on top of the wobbliness. Make it a bit, hit a bit hard, a bit more grit. I hear it. Yes, we all learning here. Yo, let me make it big so you can see him in full. There's the boy, my favorite boy, with his big, massive nuts. Very proud of him for growing such big nuts. Oh, wait, I want to see his smile. Oh wait, okay, wait. There's this. There, he's happy. He's smiling. Wait, okay. Sorry, I just like it. I like him. He's a cute rat. He likes to hang out. He likes his tickles. The track's solid. I think a lot of the stuff I said to the first shop applies here since it's so similar.
Breathe.
Yeah, neurofills for sure. You can do that. You can have more fills, more call kind of basses, and just more. Yeah, definitely just more variation for the second drop. Okay, wait. Here we go. I had to practice. Okay, that's Joe. Joe does use Ableton, just like his father. Yeah, it definitely rides. Wubby Verse. Give him a follow for Wubby Verse. All right. Nope with his consistent weekly submission. You love to see it. I mean, a lot of people probably have weekly submissions, but I feel like Nope especially. I don't know why. He just sticks in my mind. I never stop thinking about him. But yeah, that's a really solid track. I would just like a bit more girth overall. That's the theme, girth. Definitely watch that kick though. I think that kick could benefit a lot. Super cool glitchy melody you got going here. Whoops. Here we go. Jeez. Wait. You got to see his eyes too, because then it just looks like I'm abusing him. So it doesn't look like he's smiling. It's not even worth it. I feel like you've submitted this before. This might be like a refurbished track or something like that. I accidentally opened Ableton. See, I like how you err on the side of less complexity on this track. You know, you have your riffs kind of stay consistent with slight variations, you know, keeping that overall glitchiness throughout. Joe likes it too. Joe's been behind me the whole time. It's just now that I decided to start showing him off the feel. Damn. Fat sound design coming out of nowhere. Do you hear his little peep? He has little peeps sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Snare could definitely be louder. I'm not really hearing any sidechain, which I think you could benefit from, for sure. I'm just hearing that kick compound with the sub. Not a great way. Yeah, I'm really loving the yeah. I'm definitely still taking submissions. Hop, drop your shit. Why use samples when you can make crazy Mr. Bill type samples yourself? That's the real vibe. Yeah. One thing I'm still hearing like the mix. Definitely just make sure everything's more or less balanced within the spectrum. You know, you can look at it visually with the spectrum plugin, right? I dig this track a lot more than the other ones because you keep the riffs consistent. You know, you have a motif and you play around it rather than like going all crazy with it, which could be cool, but in moderation. Right. Definitely, I think your basses could be a bit more level with each other. I feel like that's a big thing that could make the track a lot more cohesive. Beyond like having sidechain on your kick as well, you can definitely have okay, if anything wants to work. Okay. Jesus, what the fuck is this? Literally. Okay. Yeah, but more or less have your drum groove like play with your basses as well, and just like have a bit more rhythm in your groove. You know, you definitely have a groove, but just make it especially rhythmic because the rhythm is what it's all about, you know. And your structure overall is solid as well. Yeah, overall a lot of improvements I feel on this track, and most of it lies in having solid riffs and sticking with them, playing around with them. You hear him? If I pet him the wrong way, he starts squealing. He's a little squealy guy. Sample that. Solid. Solid stuff. Oh yeah, gotta give you the shout out. Hey, I'm up. He's up. Alright, give Nope a follow. Looking lovely with the animoji type profile pic. Remember, I'm still accepting submissions, so be sure to drop your shit in the Discord. Be happy to check it out. You know the vibes, right? And as always, if you're gonna miss any part of the stream, right, link in description for the live streams playlist you can use to view all the previous live streams. Oh damn, man is verified. Got the 11.4k followers. Asking for my feedback. I don't have 1/10 of that amount. No. Well, I mean, this is going to be a bit weird since you're the vocalist, right? You're not the producer. And I'm mostly going to be giving the producer feedback, but I'll see what I say. I'll see. Solid.
I just turned 24. I just moved back from the city, New York. Everybody told me to stay on my own, but I don't wanna be alone. Yeah.
The beat's solid. The guitar's solid. I like how the sparkliness coming in. See, I like how your vocals developing. So, you know, it's not just repeating. You have the intro a bit different from this for the kind of verse. I don't know much about vocals, but I'll try my best. I guess that was kind of the chorus, transitions nicely into this kind of more spoken word type of beat. Here's my thing though. I feel like the hook is kind of stronger in this intro section rather than this kind of chorus or whatever. See, like, I mean, I'm assuming this, even if it's not the chorus, I think like in this style, like having a solid hook is everything, right? But I feel like you almost have too much variation on the vocals, right? They're beautiful and I like the melody, but if you really want it to stick in people's head, which is what it's all about a lot of the time, have a solid rhythmic hook and kind of stick to it. I feel like this kind of vocal would be better suited for like a bridge, you know, where it's like, I don't know, that's super subjective though. I like the flow on this. I dig all the melodies though. I just feel like some would be placed better in the arrangement. Really dig the beat. Not here to critique the beat.
I just turned 24. I just moved back from the city, New York. Everybody told me to stay on my own, but I don't wanna be alone. Yeah. I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna. Ain't kissing on no one else. No one else. It's just you that I want forever. I got it right now.
Yeah, solid. Kind of repeats. I mean, which is expected, because verse, chorus type of structure. Yeah, solid track though. My only quip is that kind of like, I feel like one section kind of had a stronger hook in a way. And maybe erred on the side of too much variation, but no such thing as too much variation, honestly. Depends on what you're going for. You know, something a bit more expressive or something a bit catchier, concise. Yeah, dope stuff. I really like the beat though, especially when the guitar comes in and the crazy solo type stuff with the riffs and has that nice reverse reverb at the end. Joe has something to say. You hear that? That was Joe's thoughts on the beat. He really liked it, I think. Yeah, I'll give you a follow. 'Cause I follow every homie that submits. Thanks for submitting. Yeah, sounds solid to me. I'm not a singer, so I can't really critique your tone. I can think about it as musically as possible, but I'm not trained in that sense. Yeah, shout out Joe. Joe has spoken. Yeah, I was wondering if the mic was able to pick it up, because sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, solid stuff. I would say give him a follow, but he already has 11.4K. He doesn't need it. Nah, but follow him. Follow him if you dig it. I'm messing. I'm joshing. I don't like saying messing, but like I'm about to say like I'm messing with you guys, right? But messing with you guys, a lot of words to say. You know, I got so much time in a day. See, his flow got me rapping without even trying. Get caught up, RD5. Thanks for the submish. Flexing the all-seeing eye with the thelema. Fractal sound. This guy. Not sure if I'm digging this kind of lead sound design. Also, it seems like not a whole lot's happening just from the waveform. Like around this part, I would expect like the sound to kind of get fuller and or more things kind of add in developing. Yeah. Around halfway through that, I would expect. This is a funky snare. Kind of dig it. Yeah, for sure. I would like more stuff developing, the sound kind of blooming a bit sooner. Solid, subtle build. Damn. I like the snare as kind of like a weird, funky kind of intro snare, but I feel like with the heavy vibe you're laying down, I would like a bit of just a heavier, straighter forward, less taily snare feel. And I would like a bit of a pre-drop as well. Right, to really make it clear that like, oh shit, it's about to impact, you feel. It's about to hit. Right, another thing is that call sounds much quieter than your sustain bass. Another thing is, right, is that you should like the stream so it gets boosted to more people, as I'm seeing. Yeah, a lot of people are joining, and we could always use more folks submitting their bangers. So like the stream. I dig the sound design and the wobble on that main bass. Definitely need the call bass kind of matching with it. Maybe have a bit of fills in the midst of that sustain bass. Maybe just a bit stronger call in general, not only on the volume side, just more girth to kind of match the fatness of that main bass. Another thing, yeah, your main bass is super loud, almost too loud for the drums. Yes, you may submit your Denzel remix. Thanks for liking the stream, fellas. Helps. Joe is being so squeaky. Like typically, like if I pet him like a little rough, he squeaks. But I'm just petting him normal, and he's being so talkative. Yeah, the bass is crazy, crazy loud. That's for sure. Yeah, also that is kind of a ridiculous amount for the bass just to sustain. How long is this? So we got like 23 seconds, almost like 15-second long bass. Yeah, I think the drum sample selection is the first thing. The next thing is having your call bass kind of hit harder and be more proportionate with your sustain bass. Another thing is I feel like your sustain bass could use like a bit more grit in the processing, you know, maybe a layer or just a bit more like OTT kind of saturations. Also, you have plenty of room for kind of fills in there as well, like the end of every 4 or 8 bars, just throw a little something something for the people at home. Long time listener, first time caller. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you tuning in. Yeah, call and response, super solid. Yeah. Joe's being so squeaky. Okay, so one thing that applies to this as well, definitely have some type of pre-drop and a bit more of a build, like a bit more drums building, a bit more riser, maybe a teaser bass. And I definitely think your main bass could be fatter, maybe an octave down. Yeah. You could definitely have more elements filling it up, right? You can have like pads, melodics, more percussions, right? Beyond just having it in the intro and this break here. Definitely more atmospheric sounds and samples, little sound effects, whatever you want. Definitely more of a build and pre-drop. Of course. Would have liked to hear a bit of variation on the sound design, right? Maybe on the small level, like between each hit, or like between every 2 hits, you feel. On a bigger level, like the second drop, hitting a bit differently. I'm hearing a bit of variation, but I would like to hear more. Especially like that kind of harmonic you're hitting changing. And that silence there, I don't think it serves a lot of a purpose. I definitely think you could have more interest with like a bass fill or a drum fill. Anything cool could be used as a fill. Also, reverbs, delays, echoes can definitely be your friend for creating more atmosphere in intros, breaks, outros, all that type of stuff. Also, outro is a bit long. Outro is almost like 40 seconds long, which is a bit excessive, especially when not a whole lot new is being said. You feel me? So, yeah, just be mindful of the interest you're creating, you know? Like when you're listening to your own track, pretend you have the world's shortest attention span of a goldfish, of the average, like, rhythm listener, maybe, you know? Even though rhythm, ironically, has less variation a lot of the time. But yeah, err on the side of more variation. Don't have things go on longer than they need to, especially if there's no new musical content going on. But yeah, that's the vibe. You already know. And yeah, give Fractal Sound a follow. Okay, there he is. Solid stuff. Thanks for the submission. No, I'm kidding. I fuck with rhythm. It's just everyone loves to hate on rhythm, so I'll make a funny joke. Okay. Isotope X Brohan. Stompin' Tune. Alright, waveform looking great already. No, this is like the default. For whatever reason, doesn't want to load right. I'll wait.
Yeah, well, ladies now, I want everybody to just get live, you know. All the party people that are there, just get up and
I like how it builds up.
Oh my God, some white killer there tonight.
It's solid.
Nice fucking area. See?
And the beat's super groovy.
Some boy I get tonight, now some boy killer now no mercy for you. What do you want now? Some boy killer now want no laziness in the dance.
Drums are really nice too. I feel like the lead, I'm not sure if I like the sound of it too much, like the detuned saws kind of got corny after the whole like 2000s phase of everything having detuned saws. No, this is like the weird default waveform. This isn't supposed to look like this. But I feel like it's also too loud. Like it sounds kind of cutting on my ears. You might want to also cut out some frequency. Yeah. The default waveform. For whatever reason, it didn't load. Just a bit more process than just like a very simple art pattern with detuned saws. I don't know.
Check to me, girl. Let's get up and shack out. See?
I would like to maybe hear your vocal kind of transform into part of the build. I think that could make it a bit more smoother transition with a bit more energy to it. Yeah, definitely watch some harsh frequencies. Soothe is an easy way to do it, but beyond that, you definitely would want to go through and get an EQ and just sweep through the frequencies and find what hurts your ears the most. You can also press this little headphone icon to just solo it, and yeah, get rid of those because some of the frequencies definitely ear hurting. Sound design and flows are solid. I like this kind of variation. The insane sustain bass. Cool reverb automation. Might want to sidechain your kind of clap or like snare or whatever, because it gets kind of lost in the sauce. Here's one thing, I feel like all this sound design here is kind of showing up your original like riff, which is good. And the other thing is I feel like it kind of just went like fuck it, which it goes hard, right? But I feel like the structure can be kind of funky in that you were like, all right, right, and then repeat it, and then you're like, all right, fuck it, we just doing that thing. You know, which goes hard.
Big tune, big tune.
Be mindful of that, but I think it's slash touches, and the mix is super loud and clear.
Yeah. Well, hear this now. I want everybody to listen. Get down. All the people that are just get my brother rock. Yeah. Oh, because some white kid are there to nice up here, yeah. See? Son, why I'm getting tonight? I want some white kid, I don't know where it's
Again with the D-tune lead. Beat goes hard. D-tune lead. So basic. I never got to reviewing this, but I'm in it now, another solid build. You could definitely benefit from the vocals a bit. I still think, as Neurotica said, I underestimated it in the first 4 bars of the drop, right? I just think that first section doesn't go nearly as hard as the rest, so you might want to rewrite it or have it a bit of it better and have it more motif compared to the rest. Cool shadow it, who knows? Low going foolish and lovely.
Big tune, big tune.
Also, that section kind of your first drop had a ton of variation. The second drop, not so much. You know, like I heard the slight changes, but you had that one with that kind of zappy bass, pretty consistent, which I would like to maybe hear. You know, a bit varied with the sound design at least. You know. Yeah. Try to modernize them. Do whatever. Or, like, embrace the corniness, but if you were to embrace the corniness, I would make it, you know, like, reflect, hit the nostalgia notes, or whatever. Reflect, like, old school trance or something like that. Something. But, yeah. Solid track overall. It gets the approval, whatever that means. It gets it. But, yeah, give Nisotope a follow. But up next, Dylon, Oh Shit demo, giving the boy a follow because I follow all the homies. This is a cool pick, I think. I'll be right back. I'll review this track in just a second because I must urinate. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned. Hello. And we're in it. We're just in it. Intro solid. I like how it transitioned to kind of cool atmosphere into the sauce. I feel like the sub bass sounds a bit weird. It doesn't quite sound clean. It doesn't quite sound dirty. I don't know. It's just giving me a weird vibe from the sub.
Fuck me.
Damn. Out of nowhere. Yeah, I love the way you brought it in super sudden to the drop. Yeah, excellent tension.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. This tune is foolish. It's simple, but it gets some other freaking job done. That's how the sub goes. That's why they call it subwoofer. Yeah. This track is sick. You can always add fills, right? But I think the simplicity of it kind of hits. Your build's super solid, the tension's amazing. Slow to beat. Drums sound pretty damn good too. I feel like it's a bit more punch on the snare. Maybe a bit of variation for the second kind of break into the build. You know, something a bit similar, a bit different. Maybe just change it to kind of sound design. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh, shit. Fuck me.
Yeah, that's a solid track. I dig it. Like you definitely keep the energy throughout, keep the vibe, or the slaps, I think.
Fuck me.
And the levels sound pretty good. I feel like on the master you might want to scoop some mids a bit and boost some highs slightly. Maybe on the whole thing, but especially the sides. Basses sound pretty wide to me, which is nice. I don't know, I get this weird kind of like lo-fi texture from some basses though. Which I don't know. I feel like if that's what you're going for, I feel like make that a bit more obvious in the arrangement in a way. I don't know though. It's kind of in that weird in between spot for me, but it doesn't get in the way of the track, you know, just nitpicking. But yeah, structure's solid, beats are solid. I dig the simplicity of it and the energy of it. You slew it. You slew the beat. Yeah, drums punchy. Sometimes I just need people to tell me to have variation on the second half. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, literally, I mean, the track is already... No. I mean, you could just have a shorter break. You know, if you want more variation, you don't need to have a whole, like, duplicated section here, right? You can just have, like, a break, like, this short, right? Into, like, a build here, or even the drop would hit here, right? And just have a slight variation on this, you know, and an outro. You know, you don't have to, like, rewrite a whole thing. You could just kind of make it an extension of the first drop in a way, but with just a little break to mix out and or introduce more tension, you feel? Yeah, you can definitely have drum fills, bass fills, anything like that. Maybe a bit more like call response action if you're into that. But slaps as is, so yeah. That's that whip idea. Oh man, the boy Meta finally coming through in clutch. Distracted by Joe.
Oh, this is heavy.
Okay. This is definitely nice. Definitely would have liked to hear a bit more variation for this drop. I know that much. I mean, I see your layers, but I don't know. Just a bit more variation in the sound design and or the flows. Intro is cool. Snare is a bit quiet, especially considering compared to all these perks and hats type thing, I think the snare could definitely come up louder in the mix. It might also be worth kind of teasing your main bass a bit. That could be cool, perhaps. I don't know, maybe to prepare them just a bit, you know, or you can have some kind of breakdown into a build, right, to like build up even more intensity to really make up for that huge shift.
Oh, this is heavy.
And I'm not hearing, I don't think, much, if any, just not enough sidechain. That would also add to the groove a bit. Another thing is, I feel like you can have some kind of like mid-bass layer with this, like some kind of harmonic clipped kind of square bass, you know, you can layer like a sine wave with some harmonics and distort that. You know, I feel like that can really add to the girth of the sound. This is a great top layer, but I think I use more mids, and that type of mid bass would be perfect for it. And like I said before, more variation a bit. Cool outro. Cool build to like transition with the next song, I think. You know, it's an easy way to get away with having one drop, you know, while like actually finishing the song without a boring outro. See, that adds to the life hack. Just put a build at the end of your song to make it 2 minutes. Okay, so yeah, give Neurotica Music a follow for that heater. 88 miles per hour. Want to make a second drop? Go for it. You know, have a bit more rhythmic elements. Also, I mean, goes without saying, you could have like fills as a more of a call for that main kind of crazy type bass. Whatever you want, whatever you desire, could be yours, I think. Right. Okay. Anyway, up next, Death Recession from Vitalize. Sustain definitely gets them. Lead sounds a bit weird. I definitely have some like pitch bending and some legato gliding. Yeah, definitely turn on legato for this lead. It will make it not like hidden so weird every time. Also, just pitch bending in general beyond like the pitch gliding or whatever. This logo is sick. Kick kind of sounds super dubsteppy to me. Not in an excellent way. I mean, I think for the drop it's solid, but for the intro I'd like to hear something a bit less deep mid dubsteppy, you feel? Also not a huge fan of the hat sample. Also the drum pattern's a bit weird. It's a bit funky, I think. What else? You can also have a bit of vibrato to your lead, I think would be cool. Another thing is, I feel like in this whole arrangement, you have little to no highs, except like at the very end, right? Which is cool. I just feel like there's more high range content you could fill up. Perk loop a bit off time. Good. I don't know. Not really. It's just in a weird rhythm. I think your bass is a bit loud. I feel like that's affecting the kind of clarity of the rest of your mix. That and the mids, you know. Scoop the mids, boost the highs. That's what I'll die by. Okay. Done playing with the tension. Okay, wait a minute. I would maybe like a bit smoother transition, carrying over more elements than just like, all right, a little bit of tension in the intro. All right, now it's drop time, or like build time, you know? I feel like you could have made that transition a bit subtler by like incorporating some elements from the intro into your drop, you know, like making them rhythmic, pitch bending them. Bass fat though, for sure. Joe likes it. Hold up, run it back. Run it back. Also, that bass sounds a bit square to me. Not in a great way. A bit too saturated. Also, beyond that, the build-up happens really fast. Like, the real drum build-up is like in a matter of like 5 seconds. Right? Which I think you can build up more tension. You know what I mean? There's an opportunity to build up more tension, kind of passed up. Also, I think some type of teaser bass could really benefit to like the tension, the expectation of the drop. I feel like that fill was in a weird spot, plus kind of weird layered with the basses. Pretty fat. Fills are a bit funky. Just be mindful of how you execute them. I would like to hear maybe a bit more modulation. Just a bit more modulation in the main kind of bass. Because it's kind of wow. Meanwhile, it can go. You feel what I mean? You know, you can have something a bit more, you know, just more movement. You know, like more variation with each hit, you know, which can also add to the flow. I think your vocal could have a bit more like kind of OTT chorus kind of processing on it. That's cool. A second drop could have a bit more variation too. Another thing is, I again feel like the tension and the build is a bit rushed. Definitely would like to hear a bit more modulation. Also, maybe just like some delay on the bass could go hard. You know, because I feel like, yeah. Another thing, I guess, I feel like the main bass is a bit dry. I really dig the bass sound design. That plus some modulation, plus some less kind of dryness. You know, dryness in terms of like this processing. You know, you can have it a bit more stereo with like some chorus. Right? You can have whatever. You can have a good time and experiment with whatever you do. Yeah, that's Death Recession by Vitalize. Give the boy a follow if you dig the vibes. Like that makes me want to make some heavy stuff just because it's fun and it goes foolish. No, because look, I want to demonstrate something just because I want to have a little fun. Don't worry, this won't get in the way of any of your submissions. Right. So this is the bass, right? This is definitely the bass. So I thought I was going def, but it was just the EQ cut. So here's our bass, right? It was something like. Whatever, right? Which is cool. Right, but look, you throw in a Combs filter, right? I don't know, it's not hitting right. For sure, definitely throw on a shit ton of OTT always, right? Right, another thing is you can, for variation, you can add shit like this, right? Shit like this, right? Just modulate. Mess with the rhythm, what you're doing. I kind of like that. Look, I'm fun with it. I feel like, okay. But look, delay always makes it. Look. Then you already know you got it. Do whatever the fuck you want. Also just chorus, right? Chorus. I'm just having fun with it at this point. You can also turn up feedback on chorus. Let me get rid of this warp. So you can just modulate with an LFO too, right? Do whatever you want, man. No. Done making rhythm sound. Anyway, up next. I gave the shout out, right? Okay. Up next. Do. That's long do, right? Okay, thanks for sticking through that, whatever that was. Cool intro, cool perks. Like how it turned into the sample, normal sample. Damn. Absolutely foolish. Transition a bit sudden, but I think you executed it well. I feel like it lost a bit of the original flow, which I liked better. I like that. Another thing is the sounds aren't quite equal, you know, in volume and power, which you'll see. I mean, you can just see it from the waveform. Digging that. Cool sample. I really like all the wow wow wow. And all those cool synthy choppy bits are excellent, I must say. Love it. Giving Joe little chips. He likes them. Yeah, super vibey. And great automations and effects. Crazy stuff. You could definitely have a bit more tension. Just slightly more tension and maybe a pre-drop. Just with a bit of silence for the extra bit of tension and anticipation. This part's a bit harsh on the ears. Also, generally, be careful with the auto pan. Maybe a slight bit too much. I don't know. It's cool though. We're straight. We're chill. Inspired by the Easy Bake tutorial. Just slew the beat. Instrumental parts really shine, for sure. I spotted a cat. Instrumental section solid. I like how it has this little riser going out. Subtle transition effects excellently worked in. Definitely hear the easy bakedness. One thing I would like a bit more like consistency and solidity in your riffs, you know, maybe a bit more call response action, solid rhythm, solid flows. You know the deal. Just make that clear, concise, direct, and a riff hard as fuck. And play off that, you know. I hear a bit of that, but I think overall your riffs could be a bit stronger. You know, to me, I feel like the instrumental sections really shine, you know, and like how you transition things. But I mean, beyond transitions, I mean, I said I liked how you transition things, but I think you could build a bit more tension and anticipation for the drop at parts. And just maybe have a bit more, you can tease the drop a bit, you know, that would add to the tension and release and just make it saucy. Yeah, but I'm not sure if I can think of anything else to say. How were the drums? I didn't get the drums. The drum hit at a bit of a weird time there. I'm not sure if it's my favorite snare. I might want to sidechain the snare a bit. Another thing, I feel like the drum groove is a bit weird. Like, you can get away with it, and I mean, it's an interesting groove, but I don't know. I don't know. Subjective. Another thing, I'm not really hearing any sidechain on your kick, which can be fine with your like 808 kind of sub, right? But I think you might want a bit of sidechain and just a bit more loudness on it as well, just so it punches through. But yeah, that's all I could think to say. Thanks for the HEDA submission, per usual, and a new submitter as well. Welcome. Welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay. Flesh World. Doherty, Mike. The boy. IDK, whatever. Alright, I'll listen. Also, Wilson, yeah. Send in your track if you haven't already. I'll be happy to see what's up with it. Okay, Flesh World, let's go. Let me run it back for a minute. Let me just run it back. I'm allowed to run it back. The fuck, Gristronics. Okay. I like how you start off with this kind of tense, gritty riff. I feel like maybe you could have a bit more building up, a bit more modulating, warping. Local sample's cool. Transition out was a bit weird. Maybe you'd like to hear it wash out a bit, with maybe like a transition sound. Damn. Yeah, definitely some white noise impacts and more transition-y sound overall, I would say. Let me run it back just a bit. I feel like you can have the snare roll kind of fade in. Overall, just more kind of like transition effects and tension built using the arrangement. Nice little pre-drop. Another thing is, I'm not hearing the bass impact much harder from the build to the drop, you know? Maybe have the volume a bit less in the build and a bit low pass. Also, your call bass sounds way louder than your response bass. Yeah, so it's like, wham, you know, to use hyperbole. I think you definitely use like a bit more, maybe not OTT, just loudness overall. And of course, wideness on all those basses. What it sounds like to me is you use like a sample for the call and then your own bass for the response. But if you want your own bass to have that much polish, more OTT, more width. around halfway through the drop. Around halfway through the drop, have a bit of like sound design variation, you know, maybe flow variation, and or, you know, the snare, I'm not feeling. It's just not very punchy, just not a great snare, not very modern, not a whole lot of transient. Swap out that snare. Kick could have a bit more impact as well. And another thing, I feel like your weird, wet, floppy type of noise. Though I dig it, I feel like it kind of interrupts the flow, and you can have some rhythm or some arrangement that could better keep the flow and the interest. I feel like it just kind of interrupts it, you know, in its current state at least. Also, yeah, definitely could use some kind of white noise transition impact type of thing there. Felt like it kind of came out pretty suddenly without much anticipation. Also feel like you can have more than just the vocal going on for the most part. Bit more tension to build up. Same stuff applies. Also, maybe don't have it quite repeat as much from the the first build up or whatever. I mean, more or less, it's just like a straight repetition, which, I mean, gets the job done, but collectively, you can do better. Maybe like slight variations here and there, which I'm not really noticing, for sure. You know, switch up the sound design, switch up the flow, have like a deeper call and response mechanic. Submit songs in the Discord. It's pinned, it's in the description. Yeah, for sure. Outro gets the job done though. Solid. Also would have maybe liked to hear the vocal be a bit more complemented by some type of bass line, you know, like harmonically, or like chords, just something, have some harmonic complement to it, right? And beyond that, I feel like the key on it might be a bit weird. I'm not certain of that, but yeah. Got you. Got you. Yeah. Excellent submission from Doherty Mike. Another fresh submitter to the stream. Love to see it. Warms my heart. All the lovely gentlemen and ladies. I don't think we have had a single, no, I think we had one lady ever submit. It's a real sausage fest in the Flock Discord, that's for sure. Denzel remix. Of course, man. Happy to help. Flow and beat got me grooving. Illegal tendencies, illustrate misery, living on infamy, infamous Lord. If you come back from the dead, you would go back to the morgue. I hunt you like Sun Tzu, so better be humble. Don't bet me, I'm Wesley in the art of war. Sword, synonym, you will be flying. Truth, anonym, I will be lying. Bruh, ain't no Hakuna Matata, cause you shouldn't fuck with a lion. Dang! Hold up. You've already submitted a track, so I refuse. I refuse to review this one. Okay? Just for the sake of time, and so I get to other people, right? I think you already did. Yeah, you did. I gotta make that clear. No double submissions. If you want, I'll get to it at the end, or you can like ask me at a later time, right? Or wait until next week, but you know the deal. just to make it fair to everyone else, so people can't spam their tracks and get reviewed all night. It was solid though. I was digging the vibe. Low end. I like it. I like a bit more changing. Jesus, that sound was loud as fuck. Sound was loud as fuck for one, but also super stereo. Also, not a whole lot is building besides the drums, which I think you make the arrangement much more interesting. Also, your side chain was super deep, right? And you should probably cut it out if you're gonna have the drums hitting that hard, because it basically just turns down the volume of everything. You feel me? Riff is solid, but I don't feel like for one, I feel like the key might be a bit different. Yeah, the key might be a bit different from the intro to the drop, so make sure that's right. Also, you might want to end up teasing your bass a bit more so it has a smoother transition. Sidechain definitely too deep. Not a huge fan of the kick either. I really like the riff and the sound design. Snare definitely too quiet. Also, I feel like, well, for one, I don't think you cut the sub, right? So you have two subs trying to go at the same time, right? And another thing, I felt like your riff was solid on its own. I feel like the darn yo 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 isn't really adding a whole lot. Maybe it should be a bit more in the background, right? I feel like they're both just competing and not a complimentary way. I like how this section kind of becomes a break somewhat, but keeps up the energy. And you keep your motif pretty consistent and play around with it, develop it. Just be very clear with what you're doing with the yo 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 plus the bass, right? Yeah, also it gets a bit repetitive at this point, you know. So a bit more variation on that, maybe a break a bit sooner. I'm getting a completely different key from this. Definitely different vibe, but you probably want to keep the key more or less consistent. You feel. I'm cutting off submissions because it's already about almost 3 hours at this point. It's going to be by the time I'm done the stream. This part's vibey, but the sub is kind of eating everything up. I need to hear more of that, those mids and highs. Like, I really like how this part's building up. It's quite excellent, I must say. Yeah, the key definitely ain't right. And I would like to hear maybe, I mean, just very different drop from the first, you know. I mean, not very, but just some variation on it, you know, because especially seems like just copy paste it on when you have a very different vibe set, and then just like, oh, just goes back to the same thing. That much transition, you feel. Also, that pitch drop was a bit weird. Kind of came back in a bit late, I think. And then the rhythm kind of gets a little too funky, a bit too much variation, I think, at this point. Okay, last call for submissions. Cutting them off after this next tune. Yeah, definitely watch the key more than anything, and have your transitions a bit smoother. I think the key would really help with that. Teasing the bass would also help a bit. Yeah, outro got the job done. And yeah, solid job. Shout out Ian Hudson. Yeah, second bass could work if it wasn't competing. Absolutely. I concur. Full page of notes. Of course, man. Thanks for your submission. Yeah, man. It has huge potential. I think those transitions are the biggest thing. Transitions and that those drums. I think the mix down for the most part was pretty solid besides the drums hitting. But up next, bass fitness. Let's go. And after this tune, no more submissions. Okay? No more. Just none. It's not allowed. New submitter, bass fitness. Excellent. Hashtag fitness. Bass house, so I see what's going on here. I dig this melody, and then bringing in the bass is excellent with that high-end groove. Excellent. Nice reverse reverb. Cool vocal too. Also introducing tension with the drum pattern, you know, and the drums building up. Also awesome use of filters for the build up as well. I would like a bit like of a kind of a pre-drop teaser and or just pre-drop silence. I feel like your sub bass is kind of hitting a weird note in comparison to your I feel like it's like a half step too high. Also, Wilson, bless you for your kind words. It's what I love to do. Really appreciate it. You can also have fills. Also, I'll probably have my mid bass a bit louder than the melody. You feel. But I think that's where a lot of the energy comes from. You really want to hear that. Feel that impact. Yeah. Watch the sub bass note though, because I feel like it's hitting a bit of a weird, sussy type of note. And like the break gets the job done. You know, but of course you can always have further development, further tension, right? Besides just kind of the same thing repeated. Again with the pre-drop, just transitioning it so quick. I think a pre-drop, like, you basically always want one because it always will add more tension, more anticipation. Feels weird saying tension in the context of the song, but you know what I mean. It's about tension. You want all the tension you can get. Yeah. That's all I can think to say. Stuff sounds solid at the end. I now that I think about it, I think the snare slash clap definitely needs to be louder. In this part especially. Maybe slightly more sidechain to really get that housey pump. I dig that. Again, I think the bass needs to be louder. Not the sub bass, but the mid bass. You feel. Yeah. All I can think to say, solid track. Definitely has the tension, but it could use more as always, right? But yeah, bass fitness to follow. If you're interested in fitness, no. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Finally getting to review Miue's Glass Animals remix, right? Because I'm an imposter. I'm sus, and I said I would get to it, but I didn't because I skipped it on accident and I forgot about it. But we're here now. That's what matters. Damn. I like the processing, and then the way you brought it in was so clean. And this key sampler, whatever you use, is beautiful. Kick is knocking. I think the snare should knock a bit more, or maybe the kick should go down. Something like that. Excellent transition into this lovely bridged with the tension. I feel like the vocal needs to be a bit louder, just a bit. Well, fan compression can really help with building it up. Oh shit, bringing in the amen break. Foolishly. Stream is clipping. Shouldn't be. Also. And I like that effect you had for that little bit of crunch for the build. Super creative. And then bringing in the subtle chords for that pre-drop. I feel like those chords could be a hair louder. Also, this is smooth as fuck. And I especially like those leads and the chords. I like the everything. That slow, stinky hats. Yeah, I mean, just solid. I dig it. And then solid transition out to more developments, more loveliness. I don't know how, but I just realized there's like a guy in the background. A guy wearing glasses. I don't know what I thought it was before. Yeah, definitely bringing the vocal up a bit. Multi-band compression can definitely make it a bit clearer, make it pop out a bit more with everything else going on. More lovely development. What's going on? I don't know why it would be clipping. I don't know what's going on. Might be my mic. Is it just my mic or is it the whole song? Yeah, and then you made it super slow and stanky for this part. With the crazy fast LFO action, whatever the hell is going on there. Sub is too much. Yeah. I mean, it's just solid to me. Yeah, and you worked in the vocal really nicely as well. Not sure what's going on with the clipping because I've never heard any much of that before. Probably just like the internet, I would think. What? No, I thought you said I might redact my idea. It's so bad. No, I thought you were talking about the stream clipping. What was your idea? I don't even know what your idea was. I didn't see it. Yeah. But yeah, sup cham. Yeah, I don't know. Like you kill it as always. I just think a bit slightly more clarity on those vocals and multi-band compression would definitely do that for you. That'd do it. But yeah, follow me away. This man has been slept on for too long. I don't know how long, but your idea is still coming up. Okay. Oh, it's something down here. Oh, this, I'm guessing. Damn, forgot to hit send. We've all been there. Yeah, I don't know. I really can't think of much. I would like to say something. I would like to roast the shit out of you. But he's just the unroastable. I said my quick notes as it went. And yeah. Like, you can definitely get big, I think. Especially because your sound has a bit more... I mean, not that this is a bad thing, but more like mainstreamish appeal. You know? Appeal to the future bass peeps out there. Tronic. Cool melody. Cool transition with this melody. Transforming, going an octave lower. D sharp Phrygian, oh, bringing in the modes. I feel like I see you're bringing in more elements, but they just aren't doing enough for me, I think. I would maybe like, I don't know, just a little something. Also, it's just taking a bit long. Like, it's almost going to be a minute in the song. Not a whole lot has developed. You know, not a whole lot of tension is being introduced. Right, more tension, happen a bit quicker. Part's for sure fat though. Kick like a hair louder. I think snare is more or less good, maybe a hair louder. Sub definitely fat. Mids and highs a bit louder though, because the sub kind of eating them up. I like to hear them a bit, and I like how it's building up with these previous, like, the introduced elements. Kind of gets pretty sparse. I think it's fine, but I don't know. You might want a bit more going on here. What exactly? I don't know. This saw type of lead is a bit weird to me. Also not sure what's going on here. I feel like I'm expecting like some sub bass pattern. You accidentally like mute it or something? I don't know. Like I'm digging the groove, but I'm feeling like sub bass is missing. You know, just something is missing. Expecting some type of something a bit more climactic. Let's see what Joe thinks. Yeah. Yeah, basically like missing sub bass there. I'm not sure what was going on. But yeah. Let's see what Joe thinks. Joe, what do you think? I think he liked it. I'm a rat translator. I'm a linguist. But yeah. Solid track. Not sure what was going on with the second drop. If you were going for the minimal vibe, I kind of dug it, but I definitely think we do like the bass here. I don't know what was going on, but we take those. I like that little chime effect. Cool melody. I feel like this lead is a bit corny. I like that sound effect. And I like all these like counter melodies playing with it too. That's turning out really well. I feel like that bass could be like an octave lower. Or just watch the keys so it as well. Also, yeah. Mid bass is pretty loud. I would like to hear all those beautiful melodics a bit more. Also, I think the sound design could be a bit more subtle. You feel. I'm holding my little rat and petting him so gently, if you can see at the very bottom left. I think he likes it. Also, I would like to maybe see some kind of tension introduced beyond just the kind of kicks, you know, in the arrangement. Yeah, bass is way too loud. Yeah, and also the side chain, like you said, you messed it up on accident. And then it just kind of cuts off out of nowhere. Yeah, for sure you could just have it kind of fade out, echo out, reverb out, do whatever. You know. Yeah, that's a really solid idea. I really dig it. I feel like the bass sound design could be a bit subtler, less kind of like sawy type thing. You know, less kind of detuney, and overall a bit quieter, you know, because the melodics are beautiful. I want to be able to hear them a bit more, I think. At least. That's just me though. I'm my own guy. So are you. You have your own experiences and thoughts and opinions which build up your perspective and taste. Literally just an idea. I like the horns, the snare rolls, panning, awesome. Yeah. The crazy ass housey vibe. Oh, mid tempo is what this is. Stuff is coming through super stereo, almost to the extent I feel like I need a bit more mono signal Would have liked to hear like some variation in the sound design, maybe like around halfway through, something of that sort. Let me show you a little bit. He's squirming because I let go of him for a second to make sure I can see the rat on stream. It's okay, my little rat. There he is. He's my precious baby boy. I like him so much. There he is. He's very sweet. He's very nice. He's handsome. And we hang out. We just hang out. Alright. But excuse me. By Joe. See, I dig the flow you got, and the sound design is foolish. Drums can definitely knock a bit harder. Just a bit more loudness. Overall. For whatever reason, Joe is like twitching. He just twitches sometimes. Apparently rats just do that. The beats make them twitch. Yeah. I don't know, like it's a solid idea. Yeah, I would maybe like to hear more kind of fills in there. That's about it though. More fills, more variation. And yeah, I think the call and response is there within the one bass with how you modulate it. It's pronounced Dewey. Do. Yeah. I mean, I think like the build up, like having more tension in the build up, of course, making it longer would do a lot for making the drop hit harder and have more context. You feel me? Yeah, but that's that. I'm sorry, but tune in next week because I'm getting tired. I don't want to review anymore. I did say I would cut them off, so yeah, I'm just stopping at this one. Okay, Devin is dead. Oh, I think I'm forgetting to give the shoutouts. Well, because Meta was last. Yes, sir. Yeah, solid idea. Definitely build on that. Has potential for show. All right, but up next, just because I feel bad, I'm gonna review it. Anyways, no more submissions. Okay. Yoshi's House Party. I'm getting Psytrance vibes. I dig the effects. This is cute. I dig it. I'm expecting a bit more sub rather than the sparse kind of sub sound design you have going on here. I dig how you bring to the Yoshi sounds as well as the Yoshi type lead. This is solid. Super spacey. Digging like the reverbiness all throughout. I would definitely like to hear some timbre variation, like the timbre of the sound, switch up the sound design slightly for the second half of the drop, for sure. Also, I think, yeah, sounds solid to me, honestly. I feel like you can definitely have a bit more high-end action, perks and hats and stuff for a bit more groove. Also, they sound a bit loud, the hats here. Okay, jeez. Didn't mean to skip ahead that far. Also, I feel like this intro section is a bit sparse. You know, I feel like you can use more for sure. Like some more harmonies, some more like just counterpoint to this main lead. You can add a harmony to it. You can have a pad underneath it. All sorts of stuff. I also would like to hear a bit more for the build besides just the riser and the kick. You can have more top percussions kind of building, some filtering action. Yeah, the classic Babatunde type beat. I feel like not quite enough kind of like variations going on here. You know, change it to timbre, have the sounds be a bit more equal in volume, and just have the groove be a bit tighter, you know, with the call and response and just overall. You can have that outro be like a bit longer just for the sake of mix out and to just have something a bit more conclusive, right? I think. But yeah, that's Devin Instead. Yoshi's House Party. I dig it. I dig it. Could be filled up a bit more and a bit subtler, some of the elements, but beyond that, I dig that drop. Variations too. Mycelium sipping. Alright, our second to last submission. Thanks to all the homies who stuck it all the way through. Even if you didn't and you're watching this afterwards, still thank you. Nope. No regrets. Kick sounding super quiet, if existent. It might just be like bass, yeah. Kick could definitely be there, or louder, or sidechained, all the above. I feel like the dun dun, the dun dun. I'm hearing like the dun note. You're kind of hitting resolving to dun dun, while it's hitting kind of a weird note in comparison. You know, is how it feels to me. Right, but I dig what you have going on there. Have the drums be a bit tighter. I think the groove too could be a bit tighter. I don't know. I think the drums really fix most of it. A lot of crazy sound design. Doing some interesting tension. A little bit of a bass teaser. I dig this logo. Whatever you did to this. What did you do to this? I've seen this effect before. It's very sick. Huh. That's weird though, because you tease one bass, but then you bring in another bass. Again, I mean not again. Also, you have no pre-drop, which I say all the time. I really think a pre-drop just makes the drop impact harder. Have that extra bit of tension and expectation. Definitely have fills here and a bit more call and response type of action. I think no pre-drop can work sometimes, but just be tasteful with it. I think most drops benefit from it. I dig this groove here. Another thing is I feel like your sound effect might be a bit too high up in the mix, right? And your mids, those are kind of prominent as well. Always, not always. A lot of times you want to scoop the mids a bit, maybe boost the highs. Except scooping the mids sometimes effectively boost the highs in a way. Whatever that means. Yeah, for sure, drums definitely could punch a bit more. Weird ass perks. And another thing, I would have liked the bass that fat to come in on the kick to add to the impact and make it make sense. Right. Also, maybe I'd like to hear a bit of harmonicness on it, and you can change the sound design for the second hit as well. Also, you can have that drop twice as long, you know, because that's more like a snippet of a drop. I really dig the groove throughout, though. Drums definitely need to work. Sounds good for a free online editor. No, I'm pretty sure it's talking about the picture. I don't know if that was a joke or what. Yeah, I dig all the ambient little noises. Just make sure they sit in a nice spot in the mix. And I really would have liked to hear your bam 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 be worked into like a bass, like a riff, bassy riff of its own. I feel like your sound design and like a lot of the breaks and like intro sections are a lot more interesting than the stuff in your drop. Your drop just sounds like super saturated, kind of blown out. You know, it doesn't have as interesting riffs. You know, maybe kind of like take the kind of riffs and sound design of your drop and just like amp it up in intensity for some type of drop, you know. That's just my thought, very subjective. You know, that could fuck, possibly, right? But our last dude here, RTX, big man RTX, as his URL states. Let's see how big this man really is. As always, yeah, live stream is available in the playlist, right? And one more thing, I'll give a shout out to myself, right? To all 8 people watching, right? buntingmusic.com. You can get lessons from me if you want help like further realizing your feedback. You know, I can do one-on-one, really dig into your project on my own or with you. You know, so yeah, get a lesson from me if you're about that. Also, plenty of free sample packs if I roasted you on your sample selection. If you use my samples, I'll never roast you on your samples again, right? And if you want like video, the presets from all my tutorials and the project files, that's all on my Patreon. And of course, it all supports me directly. If you really like my content, I'd appreciate your support. And yeah, you get stuff for it too, so it's a win-win. It needs to be louder, I know. But yeah, I'm done selling out. Should have done it sooner when there were more than 8 people, but whatever, it's the thought that counts. Thank you all. Even if you don't purchase anything, I still love you because, yeah, I just love doing what I do. And I love being able to inspire people. No, just kidding. I only value if you purchase all my packs, if you subscribe to my Patreon, donate to me. That's the only, alright. No more Feedback Fridays, you gotta donate to be on stream. No. Not yet. I would never. I dig this vibey Reese. I'm feeling drum and bass vibes. You feel me? I'm feeling it a bit more. I mean, you can just I feel like you can have a bit more building up here. Maybe you can have the vocal arm. Might be right for a, might be right for a, might be right. You know, to kind of keep the elements building up. Oh, the lead going foolish though. A few tracks you would pay for review. Well, I mean, I was joking about the paid feedback, right? But I know some people do that. I mean, not a feedback stream, maybe one-on-one. You can definitely just DM me, right? And I'll like get you your tracks like sooner or later, right? But if you want to guarantee my immediate feedback, high quality, yeah, just reach out to me on Discord. Probably be the best way. Yeah, just DM me on Discord if you want anything, basically. Money or not. I really feel that this vocal here might be right for you know, could really, it could both fill it up, create some interest and tension as well. Yeah, have a bit more high end building up here, a bit more riser coming in for a bit more tension. Sidechain also quite steep. Yeah, I thought that was the build, right? And this was going to be the drop just from the waveform, right? But I feel like, for one, your sub might be a bit too loud, right? It's definitely way louder than the rest of your track. But also, I feel like there wasn't enough like tension being added to that, right? Whether it's like the build or like just half a build, right? You know what I mean? You can also definitely tease some basses. Cool clap. Not sure if it's just a vibe, but it's for sure cool. Also, that percussion is definitely way louder than the rest of your stuff. A bit too much, I would say. Watch those harsh frequencies since that perk sound is very high end. And I appreciate your little break here, building up some tension again. Also, I feel like your kind of like gritty cyan bass is a bit overplayed at a certain point. You know, it might be good for the build up, but I feel like when it's so much on its own, it kind of loses its power. You know, it becomes kind of static. Like, I think it'd sound good if there's more like layers over it, so it wasn't so obvious and standing out on its own. You feel me? But as is, solid fills. Also, overall in your arrangement, I feel like it could have more high ends besides the both in your mix and arrangement. More high ends besides the like the perky sound, because like everything sounds kind of not bright, and then this one perk thing just sounds super bright. You know, get a bit more flush across the board. Go to bed, bro. Yeah, and then this kind of vocal thing again. What the hell? Something going on at the end. Of course, you can have it end there, but you decided to come with the bonus. I think your sub bass note is too low. That it's getting that weird thing where you're hearing like each wobble of the waveform, and it won't really play right on a sub. It's too low. Basically, the lowest note a sub can play is B-1. Whatever that was pretty cool and vibey though, so I'll give you that much. And fat. Excellent bonus at the end. I dig it. Yeah, solid track overall, I would say. Just take note of the mix especially, and give RTX a follow if you dig it. But yeah, that's that. If you ever want more feedback, like DM me on Discord. It's the best way to reach out to me. Yeah, I answer eventually. No, I don't take that long. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in and submitting, especially if you stuck through to the end. You the realist for that, right? To everyone who submitted, catch you fellas next week. Solid stuff, guys. Yeah. Thanks again. Thanks for submissions. Thanks for hanging out. You know the deal, right? But, yep. Yep. I can't think of anything else to say. Live streams playlist is in the description where you can see all the live streams, including where this one will be stored. Right. And yeah, check out my website, check out other stuff, watch all the videos, absorb all the knowledge, because that'll get you pretty far in your musical journey, I believe. Yes. Thank you for the thanks. You're most welcome. Yep. And peace out, fellas. Catch you next week with a video and more feedbacks. Peace.